Hello everyone, I'm Hossein Fazlatpour, your presenter for today. I am super excited to let you know that this is the final video in our writing series for intermediate learners. Don't worry, there are more to come. Intermediate level is around B1 plus level of the Common European Framework of References for Languages, or CEFR. In the last chapter, we are diving into opinion essays, so let's get started. We're going to analyze a writing model. A writing model is very important for you because it is like a map. It aids you to understand the journey, and reading a well-structured essay helps you to grasp the writer's path from introduction to conclusion. And over time, you will notice patterns like topic sentences, guiding the reader, examples, or using quotations, using statistics to strengthen your points and support your claims, and in the long run improve your coherence and making your essay feel complete. So by analyzing this model, you are going to learn rhythm and architecture of academic writing and making it intuitive when you write your own essays. Let's look at the writing model on page 223 in support of homeschooling. This is the introductory paragraph or the introduction. An increasing number of parents in countries such as Australia, Canada, and the United States have decided not to send their children to elementary or secondary school. Instead, the parents devote their time and energy to teaching their children at home. Opponents of homeschooling believe that the students belong in a classroom with experienced professionals and other students of the same age. Although it may not be the best option for all students and all families, I'm in favor of homeschooling for 3 reasons. As you can see here, the writer's opinion about homeschooling appears in the last sentence of the introduction. Although it may not be the best option for all students and all families, I am in favor of homeschooling for 3 reasons. So we can expect, based on the thesis statement that I read, that the reader can expect 3 body paragraphs. Here is the body paragraph 1. And notice it is started with first of all. First of all, homeschooling makes effective use of time. In Australia, Canada, and the United States, the average school day is 6 to 7 hours long. However, children who are homeschooled can finish their lesson in 4 to 5 hours. One explanation for this is that traditional classrooms often have more than 20 students. As a result, teachers spend a significant percentage of their time simply making certain that their students are paying attention and doing their work. In addition, students in a large class are likely to have different abilities and learning styles, and there is often not enough time to address the needs of each student. In contrast, students who are homeschooled are able to receive individual attention more easily, and their parent-teacher can see that they are completing their assignments and offer assistance if necessary. After homeschooled students finish their daily assigned work, they then have time to play sports, enjoy hobbies, or continue studying. Here's the body paragraph 2. The second reason that homeschooling is a good idea is that it offers additional homeschool work and the opportunity for homeschool children and the teens to become independent learners. With the extra time they have, along the encouragement from their parents, homeschool students can follow their interests and study subjects more deeply. They can choose some of the topics they want to investigate. For example, they might study such topics as ancient Chinese history, the physics of soccer or football, or computer animation. Through their research, which include online reading, library visits, trips to local museums, and family vacations, they learn more about their chosen topics. They also develop strong skills in areas such as math, science, reading, and writing. As one of the admission counselors at the university, Andrew Miller, said during my interview with him, "We like students who are homeschooled because they do not wait for others to tell them what to do. They are able to think for themselves." He then added, "Homeschooled young people ask their instructors for help when they need it, but they generally take charge of their own learning." And here is body paragraph 3. And notice the finally, we need to structure and signal to the reader and aid them in the flow. Here's the first, here's the second, and here's the final claim that we're going to make. So here's the body paragraph 3. Finally, homeschooling helps young people to develop socially. One of my friends was educated at home until the age 18. He and his brother played on basketball teams and participated in activities with other homeschooled students, so they had a chance to make friends who were their own age. However, they also spent a great deal of time with their parents and older relatives who taught them the importance of strong family relationships and showed them how to act maturely. Furthermore, their education involved volunteer work at their local community center. There they met people of all ages while they learned about the responsibility of having a job and the importance of helping the neighbors. As a result of the education his parents gave him, my friend is now a well-balanced individual who knows how to be an adult and still have fun. So, body paragraph 3 has a concluding sentence. As a result of the education that his parents gave him, my friend is now a well-balanced individual who knows how to be an adult and still have fun. And if you watched our previous lecture on chapter 9, we discussed that in body paragraphs we can include a concluding sentence and some sort of the organization, the academic and classical organization of the paragraph can be extended and expanded to accommodate an essay. And the thesis statement would be grown into the introductory paragraph. The supporting sentences would grow into supporting bodies or body paragraphs of our essay. And the concluding sentence can be expanded and some sort of exploited in a way to accommodate more information in an essay and summarize it or restate it in a way in the concluding paragraph. So it is some sort of extension, and you can look at it like a sandwich. The top and bottom layer are the bread, the introduction, the conclusion, and you can use the filling based on your preference and how you are going to approach the subject. Okay, now let's talk about the conclusion. This conclusion differs from the concluding sentence in a paragraph. This conclusion is a concluding paragraph that's going to finish our essay. It is very easy to write, I suppose. It is one of the more easier ones compared to writing a good introduction or really supporting your claims and having a plan to logically express yourself and have coherence. In support of homeschooling, conclusion. To summarize, and notice that here we have to summarize, it indicates that what we are going to do, and it is always a good thing to tell your reader, especially in academic essays and in professional environments, to really signal what you're going to do. And it is the responsibility of author, and I'm telling you that, it is the responsibility of the author to deliver the meaning in its best possible way for the defined purpose. If it's fiction, so you need to engage the reader. If it's, for example, academia, you need to inform the reader. It's in a professional setting, you need probably to ask your reader for something or instruct them. So you always need to have the purpose of your writing on your mind. Well, let's approach the conclusion. To summarize, homeschooling is not easy and may not be for everyone, but it has certain benefits. For the most part, homeschooled students can complete their basic lessons in less time than students in a formal classroom. Therefore, they have more time to pursue their own interests. Because they learn how to ask questions and find answers, and because they develop a strong social skills, they become intelligent, responsible adults. As far as I'm concerned, even more parents should consider the option of homeschooling. Now, let's talk about another subject, collocations. Well, collocations are words that often appear together in a specific pattern, and we call them collocations. They can be a combination of noun plus noun, a school day, family relationships, both of them are noun, or they could be adjective plus noun, like elementary school, traditional classrooms. So adjectives, some sort of define the noun, and they can be verb plus noun, devote their time, address the needs. And what I suggest for you to do, there are two good books, Collocations. I'm not sure by which press. There's an intermediate, high intermediate, and advanced level. I think they are Oxford, if I'm not wrong. But go check it yourself. And it's gonna really help. And also, what is very, very important for you to notice is to read as much as you can and engage and try to listen. And learning language from the natural way that others do and through the natural way that people communicate will really help you to, catch those phrases. Many of aspects of language learning are involuntary, but it doesn't mean that when they're involuntary, you don't need to pay attention. You need to pay attention. And as the time goes by, you will learn. And I know the frustration sometimes for language learners. When you are in intermediate level, it is just a bit difficult because at the earliest stages, your progress is fast. But as you move on and as you are in the middle ground, it might appear very daunting for you. And I absolutely understand it. But you need to sustain, please read. And as helpful as those videos are, you need to write. And I'm open if you are sending your writings in the comment section for me, and I will, to the best of my ability, give you feedbacks. So, please include language in your lifestyle. Read the newspaper in English. Try to read a novel. Try to write. Write a journal. It will really help. Okay, look at this example. Individual attention, personal attention, undivided attention, okay? The number 2, large percentage, significant percentage, surprising percentage, okay? Global community, business community, Italian-American community, the black community, for example. Or skills, social skills, basic skills, and communication skills. So you can grab those collocations. It needs to be a natural thing. I'm telling you, sometimes people, when they are taking the IELTS or TOEFL exams, they try to some sort of include all they learn, but it feels so mechanical, and the examiner can understand your confidence in language. You need to build the confidence with language because you need to express yourself. These are guidelines that truly gonna help you. But as you write, you will understand and you will develop your own style that is gonna work for you. So don't try to put those unnecessarily or mechanically. Add them to your language intake, and in the long run, you will use it without even noticing it. Because when you are asked in your exams, you're not asked to, let's say, put as much as, let's say, difficult grammatical structures in it. You are asked to express yourself. You are asked to deliver the meaning. The use of language is not always in its complexity, but it is in its efficiency, how efficiently and how effortlessly you can communicate what you are going to communicate. So, focus on those skills first, how to articulate yourself. They are very, very, very important. Well, the organization of an opinion essay is easy. For example, in many countries like the United States or the European Union, in education systems, you are asked to express your opinion and independent thought is valued. So state your opinion in the thesis statement, support your opinion with reasons, and then support your reasons with the specific details. Here are some guidelines. Remember that an introductory paragraph consists of 2 main parts. We have several general statements and a thesis statement. In an opinion essay, the introductory paragraph, we're talking about an opinion essay, so remember. And these are not hard rules, they're guidelines, okay? In an opinion essay, the introductory paragraph often begins by explaining an issue. So look at this. We have several general statements and a thesis statement. Okay? The thesis statement, which represents the writer's opinion on the issue, often begins by mentioning the opposing view. And note, it's often. Don't try to force it. Police departments say that curfew laws to control teenage gangs are necessary, but they feel that such laws are unfair, unconstitutional, and counterproductive. Notice that the opposing viewpoint is connected to the writer's opposing opinion using a contrasting signal, such as however, but, or although. Here we are using but. And if you go look at the videos and previous videos, we discussed many of sentence structures, compound, complex, and compound complex, and then you can really use those contrast signals. And I will repeat it again because I think it is necessary before doing this practice 3. Some people try to force transitional signals in everything. Using those transition signals needs to be need-based use, you know? When you need to use a contrast, then you have to recall what you know about, let's say, however, but, although, and other contrasting signals, and then incorporate it. Do not do it mechanically, I'm telling you. Okay. Writing thesis statement for opinion essays. Here is, you can pause the video and I will give you a sample example. There can be way too many different examples. So, many people believe that anti-smoking laws are a good idea, but, so pause the video and continue. I'm going to resume, so I assume that you paused. Many people believe that anti-smoking laws are a good idea, but many people believe that anti-smoking laws are a good idea, but others argue that such regulations unfairly restrict personal freedom and place too much control in the hands of the government. The other one is, some companies do not value employees who are 60 and older because they think such workers are too old to do their work effectively. However, older employees often bring valuable experience, strong work ethics, and mentorship skills that can greatly benefit the organization. And let's say that the second one is our thesis statement, okay? We're going to talk about bring valuable experiences in our body paragraph 1, a strong work ethics in our body paragraph 2, and mentorship skills in our body paragraph 3. Okay. Also notice, before writing a thesis statement for an opinion essay, thoroughly examine the issue. You may have an opinion, but understand the opposing view is crucial for a strong argument. If you lack an opinion, consider both sides to form one. You know, try to educate yourself. Now, as I said, here's an example of a body paragraph. In the body paragraphs of an opinion essay, you provide reasons to support your opinion. Each reason is developed into a separate paragraph in the final essay as demonstrated in the example. The thesis statement is, police departments say that controlling teenage gangs by limiting their time on the street is necessary, but I feel that such laws are unfair, unconstitutional, and counterproductive. Then, the first reason, or the reason A, would be, just like adults, many teens have valid reasons for being out late. Okay? So, it is the unfair part. Second, reason B, curfew take away freedom guaranteed by the US Constitution. So first we talked about the fairness, second we talked about the Constitution, and now we're going to talk about the counterproductive aspect of it. The reason C, finally, curfews do not solve the problem of teen crime. And curfew is when it's like the martial law. It is something that the police or the any enforced institutions will prevent people to go out in certain hours. Okay, we call it curfew. So here's another example. For example, if your topic were the importance of renewable energy, let's take a look at this. Governments should invest more heavily in renewable energy because it reduces environmental damage, strengthens national energy security, and creates sustainable economic growth. So the reason A is it reduces pollution and combat climate change. So It reduces environmental damage. Now we expand it. It reduces pollution and combat climate change. And then we describe how it does that, or use scientific reasoning behind it, or explanation. There are many sort of supports that you can do, and we're going to talk about quotations and statistics later as well. The reason B, it decreases dependence on imported fossil fuels. And reason C is it stimulates innovation and job creation in green industries. So, let's talk about quotations. Well, quotations are great supporting details, but they need explanation when we need explanation. Don't just add them as supporting details. Make a clear connection between the quotation and your idea. You know what quotation is. When we are quoting someone, it's obvious. So, use a reporting phrase like he said or she said, and you can see the examples here. I have a part-time job, he said. He said, I have a part-time job. And notice the use of comma here. It is very, very subtle and important. Okay, now I want to tell you the capitalization rule. Look at the third sentence. I plan, and there's a he said, there's a reporting phrase, and then we have the first comma inside the quotation, the second comma outside the quotation and before start of the second quotation. And the second quotation is not capitalized if it's a one sentence, but the first quotation is. And as a matter of fact, I should always be capitalized no matter where it is. And here, sometimes we also, let's get back, according to, sometimes we name the office of that person or the title, like the police commander Victor Hernandez, when they are not very popular. Capitalization rule and punctuation rule. Well, capitalize the first letter of each quoted sentence. If a quoted sentence is split into two parts, start the second part with a lowercase letter. And I hope that it is obvious for you because I already discussed it. Young is capitalized and is not after the second quotation starts. Commas, periods, and question marks and exclamation points go inside the second quotation mark of a pair. You can see that here as well. And let's talk about the quoted person's life. If they are not well known, as I said, include their occupation or other identifying information. And the simplest way to do so is to place the information in an appositive. We already discussed about them. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. And thank you for being with the journey with me. And I hope that you find those videos helpful. And my goal was to provide high quality, without disruption or nonsense sort of approach to writing and aid you either in your professional level or if you are going to take exams for your journey. And thank you. I appreciate your support. So please share and subscribe, and best wishes from Iran.